India versus Pakistan, Australia versus England. These are the rivalries everyone knows in cricket.
Yeah, and that's why I go back to when you asked me the question about what makes you uncomfortable. Oh, what happened there? I think what the Australians are saying is...
But there's another rivalry in Asia that has quietly grown into one of the most dramatic stories in modern cricket. A rivalry filled with last ball sixes.
Oh my goodness! He's finished it off in grand style. What a magnificent shot.
Shocking controversies.
Bangladesh game and Sri Lankan game, the first time ever, Skull, that a player has been timed out, and it was hard to...
Fiery celebrations and unforgettable moments.
Watch the Cobra come. That's a new one. That's the first time I've seen something like this.
A rivalry where matches are rarely one-sided.
Oh my goodness! He's finished it off in grand style.
Where emotions often spill beyond the boundary rope.
I think the bowling was very disciplined.
This is not politics. This is not media hype. This is Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka, a rivalry born out of respect, but shaped by drama.
Nicely judged.
Two cricketing nations whose battles have gone far beyond the scoreboard.
The winning run for Bangladesh, creating history.
Over now, it's a famous win for them.
ये नागिन डांस ये अलग चलता है दो टीम्स के बीच में. ये लड़ाई कुछ अलग है. ये ऑन फील्ड कम, ये ऑफ फील्ड ज्यादा है.
Watch the Cobra come. That's a new one. That's the first time I've seen something like this.
When Bangladesh first gained Test status in 2000, Sri Lanka was already an established powerhouse, with legends like Sanath Jayasuriya, Aravinda de Silva, Chaminda Vas, and Mutia Muralitharan leading the way. For the first decade, the rivalry was completely one-sided. Sri Lanka dominated Bangladesh in both Tests and ODIs, often winning by massive margins.
Won it by 9 wickets.
For Bangladesh, Sri Lanka wasn't just an opponent, they were a benchmark. Sri Lanka, after all, had lifted the 1996 World Cup.
That's it, all the way to the boundary for 4. What a victory for the Sri Lankans. And here he is now in the winning team. They've taken out the World Cup.
Proving that Asian underdogs could become world champions. And Bangladesh wanted to follow that same path. By the late 2000s and early 2010s, things began to change. A new generation of Bangladeshi cricketers, Mashraf bin Morteza, Tamim Iqbal, Shakib al-Hasan, Mushfiqur Rahim, and Mahmudullah, started to believe they could beat any team on their day. And Sri Lanka often found themselves at the receiving end of Bangladesh's growing confidence. The Tigers were no longer content with just competing, they wanted to dominate. One of the early sparks came in the 2012 Asia Cup, held in Dhaka. For Bangladesh, it was a do-or-die encounter, and on that night, the Tigers roared. Led by Tamim Iqbal's brilliant batting and the all-round brilliance of Shakib al-Hasan, Bangladesh defeated Sri Lanka convincingly.
Let's go through. That's the winning moment for Bangladesh. They're through to the final.
This wasn't just a win, it was historic. The victory knocked Sri Lanka out of the tournament and took Bangladesh to their first ever Asia Cup final. The Sherry Bangla crowd exploded with joy. Fireworks lit the sky. Fast forward to 2016. The Asia Cup had shifted to T20 format. Sri Lanka had legends like Angelo Mathews and Lasith Malinga, but Bangladesh's golden generation had matured. Sabir Rahman played a fearless knock. Taskin Ahmed bowled with fire. And once again, Sri Lanka were stunned. For Bangladesh fans, this wasn't just another win, it was revenge. Proof that 2012 was no accident. Then came the 2018 Asia Cup. Bangladesh faced Sri Lanka in the opening game. Mushfiqur Rahim played one of the greatest knocks of his life, 144 runs, and Bangladesh humiliated Sri Lanka by 137 runs, a statement win. Colombo, 2018. The Nidahas Trophy tri-series with India and Sri Lanka. The group stage clash looked impossible for Bangladesh. Chasing 215 runs in 20 overs, the Tigers needed a miracle. Tamim Iqbal gave the start, Mushfiqur Rahim anchored, Liton Das added firepower, and then Mushfiqur's iconic finish. Arms spread wide, leaping in joy after scoring a heroic 72 off 35. Bangladesh had chased down 215, their highest ever T20 chase, and against Sri Lanka in Sri Lanka.
The Cobra come. That's new one. That's the first time I've seen something like this.
But the drama wasn't over. In the virtual semi-final, the match went down to the wire. Amid umpiring controversies, a furious Shakib Hasan even threatened to call the players back. But Mahmudullah, ice in his veins, smashed a last ball six to seal victory.
My goodness, he's finished it off in grand style. What a magnificent shot.
And then came the infamous Nagin dance celebration on Sri Lankan soil. For Bangladesh fans, it was joy. For Sri Lankans, it felt like insult. That night, the rivalry officially became personal. If the Nidahas Trophy lit the fire, the 2023 ODI World Cup added gasoline. In Delhi, during a Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka clash, drama unfolded when Angelo Mathews became the first ever player in international cricket to be given timed out. Mathews was late to face the ball, and Bangladesh captain Shakib Hasan appealed. The umpires had no choice but to uphold the decision. Sri Lanka's players were furious. Mathews called it disgraceful, and Shakib defended it as within the laws. The cricketing world was divided.
Within the law, mere liye bilkul sahi.
But one thing was clear. The Bangladesh-Sri Lanka rivalry had just hit a new, fiery chapter. Fast forward to 2025 Asia Cup. The story continued. In the group stage, Sri Lanka once again asserted dominance, beating Bangladesh convincingly. In the Super 4 clash, Bangladesh turned the tables. The Tigers roared back, beating Sri Lanka in a high-stakes encounter. It was proof that in this rivalry, nothing is predictable. Unlike India versus Pakistan, where politics fuel the hype, Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka is a pure cricketing rivalry. The matches are not just about runs and wickets, they're about pride, identity, and proving who belongs among Asia's elite. Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka may not have the hype of India versus Pakistan or the history of the Ashes, but it is quickly becoming one of cricket's most entertaining rivalries. One thing is certain. Whenever the Tigers and the Lions face off, cricket fans are guaranteed fireworks.